and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson, now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has posthumously awarded the 17 heroes of the Okoma killing with national honors. The president announced the award during the burial ceremony of 17 officers who paid the supreme price in Delta State at the National Cemetery in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okere was there for Global Television. Her report.
In a solemn ceremony at the military cemetery in Abuja, President Tinubu, alongside top government officials, paid their last respects to the 17 soldiers brutally murdered in Okoma, Delta State. The nation mourns at dignitaries, including the Deputy President of the Senate and the Speaker House of Representatives, governors, and senior government functionaries gathered to honor the fallen heroes. As a mark of national recognition for their sacrifice, President Tinubu declared that the slain soldiers will be posthumously bestowed with the national honors of the Order of Niger MON for the senior officers, while the remaining soldiers were honored with Order of Federal Republic OFR.
To protect the families of our departed heroes, the federal government will provide housing in any part of our country to each of the families of the 4 officers and 13 soldiers that were among them. The federal government has also approved scholarship to all children of the deceased up to university level. Including those who are in the womb.
Earlier, the Chief of Defense Staff, while praising the bravery and dedication of the fallen soldiers, assured their families that the armed forces of Nigeria continue to stand by them, providing support and assisting in their time of need.
By your side as you confront the challenges that lie ahead. Indeed, the world is a dangerous place. We together, working together hand in hand, will make Nigeria better, and indeed, the entire nation. To the perpetrators of this violence who seek to sow division and fear among our people, take this from me. Our resolve will not wither. We will hunt you down, we will bring you to justice, and we will restore peace and security to every nook and cranny of our dear nation.
While commiserating with the families of these gallant soldiers, the Chief of Army Staff assured that the Nigerian Army will not leave them in the cold.
Has added to the care of the Nigerian Army, and by extension, the Nigerian state, 10 widows, 3 of whom are 4, 5, and 8 months pregnant, 21 orphans, and many other dependents, which include parents. While commiserating with the families of these gallant soldiers, I assure them that the Nigerian Army and the good people of this country will not leave them in the cold.
The President, governors, and other dignitaries and families of the slain soldiers lay wreath at the graveside. 21-gun salute was rendered in honor of the slain military personnel.
It is no longer news that when soldiers are sent to the theaters of operation, some might not make it back, while some may come back handicapped. Now that the 17 soldiers have been paid their last respect, what remains now is how those they left behind will be taken care of by the government which they served. From military cantonment in Abuja, Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
May the souls of the officers and soldiers continue to rest in perfect peace. Moving on now, President Bola Tinubu has insisted that the killers of 17 officers and men of the Nigerian Army in Delta State on March 14, 2024 must be arrested as families demanded justice during the burial of the slain military personnel at the National Cemetery in Abuja. In his address at the event, Tinubu declared that leaders in Delta State must fish out killers of the soldiers who were ambushed while on peace mission in the Okoma community in Delta State. This came as the president vowed that the killers would not go unpunished as he conferred post-mortem national honors on the slain officers. President Bola Tinubu has established a 31-man Presidential Economic Coordination Council comprising himself, the Vice President, Senate President, and the Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, amongst others. Tinubu also established a 19-member Economic Management Team Emergency Task Force, which he mandated to meet twice weekly and submit a 6-month comprehensive plan of economic interventions for 2024. The plan covering the next 6 months will be due to immediate implementation within 2 weeks of ETT's inauguration, the President directed. The EET comprises ministers, 4 governors, and some members of economic management team, as well as the private sector. The House of Representatives has vowed to recover 2 Bell helicopters belonging to the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, Zaria, sold to private individuals. The Chairman, House of Reps Committee on Public Assets, Ademorin Kuye, said this at the investigative hearing on the sale of helicopters in Abuja. Kuye expressed concern over the sale of helicopters to private individuals when the college was left with no helicopters for training. The committee also questioned the process leading to the sale of the helicopters as security agencies, including Nigerian Air Force and Navy and Police, indicated interest in purchasing them. The federal government will, on April 4th, arraign Bernays Holdings Limited and its 2 top officials, Tigran Barian and Flynn Nadim Ajawala, on allegations bordering on tax evasion. Bernays, Barian, and Ajawala, listed as first and third defendants, respectively, are expected to be arraigned before Justice Emeka Wite on the Federal High Court, Abuja, on 4-count charge. While Ajawala is Bernays' African Regional Manager, Gambarian is a U.S. citizen overseeing financial crime compliance at the crypto exchange platform. Hearing notice have been related to the Federal Inland Revenue Service and prosecuting agency and counsel to other parties for the defendant to take their plea. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has disowned Wednesday's Labour Party LP National Convention in Anambra. The Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman Rotimi Oyakemi said this known in Abuja. Oyakemi said that the conduct of the convention was not monitored by INEC. Declining to state further why it was not monitored. The LP had shifted the convention from Umuahia to Abia to Inewi, Anambra State. Speaking on the venue change, Kehinde Edun, the LP National Legal Advisor, told newsmen that party had duly informed INEC about the change in venue and date. Niger State House of Assembly said it passed vote of confidence on the administration of Governor Muhammad Umar Bago because of his leadership style. The motion for the vote of confidence was moved by the member representing Tafa constituency, Mohammed Idris, and seconded by the member representing Bida 2, Haruna Mohammed Zakoza. The session chaired by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Ani Afeniki Yunus Dauda, representing Gurara State constituency, took many by surprise. Afeniki said the session is to spotlight the administration positioning that Governor Bago have been a dogged and dedicated leader who has shown exemplary leadership style. The Commandant General Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Audi, has deployed 35,000 personnel across the country to ensure a hitch-free Easter celebration, according to a statement by the Corps spokesperson, Babawale Afolabi. Deployment comprising officers and men with targeting no fewer than 35,000 personnel to provide watertight security before, during, and after the festivity to protect lives and property, including critical national assets and infrastructure. Adding that members of the public are also to support by giving useful and timely information on suspected acts and persons for prompt and appropriate response. The Armed Forces of Nigeria has declared 8 persons wanted in connection with the gruesome murder of 17 soldiers in Okoma community in Delta State. Director Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba made this declaration to journalists on activities of the military in the theater of operations. He says the military will do whatever it takes to get the suspects Kike Lomo Okere has details.
While fielding questions from journalists on the 17 soldiers who were gruesomely murdered on the 14th of March 2024 in Ukoma community in Delta State, the Director of Defense Media Operations says the military will leave no stone unturned to fish out the perpetrators of the heinous crime, adding that the armed forces is bent on sustaining the winning ways of the operational engagement.
Nevertheless, troops will continue with their efforts until the culprits are found, arrested, tried, and brought to justice by Nigerian law. As for citizens, you must know that you are our first line of intelligence and therefore must rise to the occasion. We have a duty to flush out the culprits, and we must rise to that occasion.
Meanwhile, during the week under review, the director rules out that troops neutralized 212 and arrested 252 persons. Troops also arrested 29 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 244 kidnapped hostages.
Troops recovered 223 assorted weapons and 2,756 assorted ammunition. The breakdown of which is as follows: 3 M56 rifles, 115 AK-47 rifles, 3 PKT gun, among several others.
In the South-South zone, troops deny oil theft of the estimated sum of over 1 billion naira.
In the Niger Delta area, discovered and destroyed 102 dugout pits, 41 boats, 36 storage tanks, and 8 vehicles, among others. Troops also recovered 944,000 liters of stolen crude oil, over 170,000 liters of illegally refined AGO, and 1,500 liters of DPK.
The foregoing indicates that troops are weathering the storm through offensive posture and improved understanding of modus of operandi of the adversaries. The director reiterated the military high command commitment to continue to eliminate threats posed by terrorists and their cohorts. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kike, for that report. The Defense Headquarters says the release of 313 terrorism suspects to Borno government was on the order of the Federal High Court sitting in Maiduguri. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, who clarified in Abuja, said the suspects were detained on suspicious, but no evidence was found against them after investigation. According to him, the cases were persecuted by the Federal Ministry of Justice, wherein the court ordered their release. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has confiscated pharmaceutical products worth millions of naira in Onitsha, Anambra State. This is even as a regulatory agency has uncovered illegal factories producing counterfeit alcohol beverages across Enugu and Imo states. The clampdown on illegal and counterfeit products underscores the agency's commitment to combating the distribution and manufacturing of illicit substances in the Southeast region. NAFDAC's director of the Southeast Zone, Martins Elumade, announced a successful raid during a press conference in Akwa, Anambra State capital. Highlighting the Onitsha operation, Elumade detailed the seizure of 892 bottles of codeine syrup, along significant quantities of refinol and tramadol, among other controlled substances. A High Court of the Federal Capital Territory sitting in Jabi on Thursday dismissed the charges of fraudulent conduct and handling of oil prospecting license OPL 245, popularly referred to as the Malibu oil deal brought against the former Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Adoke, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The Anti-Graft Agency had charged Adoke before the FCT High Court Abuja, along with Aliyu Abubakar, the former AGF, was accused of collecting a gratification of 300 million naira from Abubakar over the OPL 245 resolution. He denied all allegations. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using a Global TV engine and the handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, Nasani targets 25% reduction in import bill by 2030. This and more stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria has shut down a branch of popular food outlet KFC at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos State. Van stated this in a statement signed by its Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Obageli Ora. The statement added that the director followed a social media report by a passenger with reduced mobility who alleged discriminatory state treatment he received at the airport. The authority was instructed that the KFC management should tender an unreserved apology in writing to the affected PRM and a policy statement of non-discrimination be written and posted conspicuously at the doorpost of the facility at MMIA before it resumes operation. Over now to our foreign index. After months of warning, a recent UN-backed report offered hard statistical evidence that the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza is turning into a man-made famine. It has increased the pressure on Israel to fulfill its legal responsibilities to protect Palestinian civilians and to allow adequate supplies of humanitarian aid to reach the people who need it. The UN's most senior human rights official, Volker Turk, said in an interview that Israel bore significant blame and that there was a plausible case that Israel was using starvation as a weapon of war in Gaza. Turk, who is in the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, said that if intent was proven, that would amount to a war crime. The bodies of 2 people have been recovered from the red pickup truck which was underwater where the Baltimore Bridge collapsed. 8 construction workers were on the bridge when the ship struck it, plunging them into the water below. 2 of the workers were rescued on the day, but search continues for another 4 all presumed dead. 4 of the 6 victims of the bridge collapse have been named so far. Officials says drivers are no longer able to navigate the water safely because of concrete and debris found in the river, police said. They're now using sonar scans and believe that vehicles that may contain other bodies are encased in superstructure and concrete that came down from the bridge. 2 other missing victims who are presumed dead have also been named: Miguel Luna, originally from El Salvador, and Mayor Zuazo Sandova, a Honduran citizen. In business now, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure has projected a reduction in import bill by 25% to $34.7 billion by 2030. These were contained in a document presented by the Executive Vice Chairman of NASANI, Khalil Halilu. The agency said it would achieve this by forming partnership to locally manufacture top 10 items in the country. NASANI is also projected to generate over 3 million jobs in the same year through focused technology, knowledge, and transfer to over 300,000 small and medium enterprise and to lift 2.5 million people out of poverty in 5 years. Interest rates and huge demand have propelled investments in mutual funds to 82.2% rise, with its net asset value NAV reaching 2.82 trillion naira year on year. YOY in February 2024 from 1.55 trillion naira recorded in corresponding period of 2023. The latest data released by Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) showed that dollar fixed income funds recorded the highest NAV in absolute terms of 1.354 trillion naira, as against 315.8 billion naira recorded in the corresponding period of 2023. The dollar fixed income funds accounted for 48.06% of the total value of NAV under the dollar fixed income funds. Stanbic IBTC Asset Management was the most active player among the 25 players in the market, according to 803.5 billion naira and accounting for 59% of the total NAV. In sports, Super Eagles defender Kenneth Omoru has assured that the players are determined to give their all for maximum points when the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers resume in June. Super Eagles contingent for the friendly matches against Ghana and Mali in Marrakesh departed Morocco, with most of the players flying back to their bases in Europe. After grieving over unexpected loss to Mali, on-field captain Omoru has assured the players were determined to give their all for maximum points when the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers resume in June. On entertainment, the president of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, AGN Emeka Rollas, have denied the purported death of veteran actor Zach Orji. The social media was awash of the death of veteran Nollywood star. The rumor came a few days after another veteran actor, Amechi Monaghan, passed away after battling kidney ailment. Zach Orji had been in the news about his ill health after he was reported that he had slumped and was in critical condition. But debunking the rumor on his Facebook page, Rollas said Zach Orji is alive, calling on the general public to ignore mischief makers who enjoy circulating fake news. United States Department of Homeland Security agents have opened an investigation about hip-hop star Sean Diddy Combs, searching his properties in Los Angeles and the Miami area on Monday. The inquiry was led by Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, agency in New York, where a lawsuit was filed against Combs by a former girlfriend in federal court in November, accusing him of engaging in sex trafficking. Combs, 54, has said that he was innocent and that his accusers were seeking a quick payday. Popular singer-songwriter Omah Lay and 4 other Nigerians have been announced as performers and speakers at the FOB 30 on the African Summit holding in Botswana in May 2024. Omah Lay will be performing alongside 4 other Nigerians who have been named as speakers for the event as FOB comes to Africa for its 3rd and biggest iteration yet. And that's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using the Global TV NG and the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. See you again. Bye-bye.